quit my job. And it is literally 2024, and I do not know if it's the smartest idea to quit your job in 2024 or if it was a smart idea for me to quit my job in 2024. But here we are, and I'm pretty excited for what's to come. So, in this video today, I'm going to be telling you about what led to my decision to quit my job, but I'm also going to share with you my plans moving forward. Well, unlike most people here on YouTube, I quit my job, but I do have a plan. So I have a plan, I have faith in God, and really, God is in control of everything. So, as much as I can plan, at the end of the day, all of my plans are at His will. And so, we're going to talk and unpack in this video today. Hey, if you're new here, and hey, if you are coming back, my name is Shanice, and I do operate a stationery shop that is not called Shanice DK Designs, but here on this YouTube channel, I do talk all things business, marketing, self-publishing. And so if those are things that you are interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stick around as this channel heads into hopefully a beautiful direction. Yes. I quit my job. And if you are new here, so you are not aware, I was a teacher for the better part of my career. So I'm going to give you a quick recap of how I started teaching and how we got where we are today, which is me quitting my job. So in 2017, I graduated with a bachelor's in psychology, and at that time, I had dreams of being a forensic psychologist. And so I started a master's program in criminology and criminal justice, and that was going great for the time that it was going great. But then I ended up moving into a new area, and so then I actually had to change my plans, or my plans changed for me. So in 2019, late November, I actually started substitute teaching at a small charter school. It was a really great school, and I was substitute teaching until the pandemic. So y'all know by 2020, we're in a pandemic, schools are shutting down, and things are going crazy. So I actually got certified as a teacher, a temporary certificate, because here in my state, you could get certified to teach as long as you have a bachelor's degree. So I got certified, I ended up graduating from my master's program, and I got an offer to teach at the charter school full time. Now, this offer was to teach science. No, I was not certified to teach science, but in my state, you can also start teaching without being in the subject area for at least 1 year. So knowing that, I accepted the position. And the charter school actually had a program to help teachers move from a temporary certificate to a professional certificate. So I took advantage of that program because it was free, and I ended up getting fully certified to teach science. And so I kept teaching it. So fast forward, it is now late 2021. I am still teaching science, and y'all, all types of things are happening in my life. So if you've been on my channel, this is around the time when I started Amazon KDP. This is around the time when I lost my grandma. And so y'all, I was very stressed out. So fast forward to 2022, I'm still going through a whole bunch of things. And so I decided it would be best to transfer from in-person teaching to virtual teaching. So I found a job with this company. It was a 1099 contract, meaning that you teach, you get paid, but you don't get any benefits. It was a program where I was at home teaching, but the kids were in school. So it was a weird setup. However, it worked for the time that it needed to. By summer, I was like, you know what? I need to get a more permanent situation where I can actually get some benefits. And so I found another remote teaching position, which I thought was going to be more like a homeschooling support, because that's what the company does, right? The company is a company that offers homeschooling, and they have teachers who support that. So grade papers, give feedback to the students, maybe have a one-on-one and things like that. However, when I started, they were actually about to pilot a program which was very similar to the company that I was just leaving. So they had schools who did not have teachers, and they wanted to have virtual teachers in those classrooms. So the exact same program. However, this company, it's a pilot for them. So it's the first time they're doing the program. They're not really familiar, and there's just all type of confusion. So I was working with a school in Missouri, and it literally felt like I was following Missouri schools rules, but I was also following the online teaching company's rules. So it was very chaotic. And they actually demanded a lot more of me. So I had to attend all the PLCs. I had to put internal grades into the company that I was working for, but then I also had to go and put external grades into the Missouri School District's website. Like, it was a whole thing. Saying this to say, it was a very short lived time that I spent at that company, but I ended up finding another job as a teacher support specialist. And basically, what I did in that role was I used all of my teaching knowledge, all of the skills I had gained since becoming professionally certified, to now teach teachers who are here on an exchange program. So they're coming from the Caribbean, they're coming from Senegal, they're coming from the UK. Like, teachers are literally coming from all over the world. A part of it to help fill the need, but also for cultural exchange so they can learn the American system and take it back to their home countries. And so it was really great for me, being of Caribbean heritage, to work in a role like that where I was working with people from other countries. And so it was a great position for me. As much as I loved that job, there were just little things that made it known that this was not going to be, the job for me. Like, you know how people get to a company and they stay there for like 5 years? Like, I knew that this was not that company or that job for me, simply because, one, it didn't have a lot of minorities. I was the only Black person there, and then we had a couple other minorities, but I was the only Black person. And if you've ever been the only Black person at a company, it's weird. You feel weird, right? You feel different. So it was really weird for me. But besides that, I was actually moving. So I was moving, and then although my role at the time was hybrid remote, so I would work remote 2 days per week and in office 3 days per week, and then my company actually had people in other states who were fully remote. And sometimes I would show up to the office and it would only be the minorities there. So me and my two Mexican coworkers would be the only people in the office, which means everybody else is at home. So a lot of times it would feel like it's a complete waste of time going into the office, because we go there and there are no supervisors there. It's just us, the workers. So this is also around the time when I made a whole bunch of money on Amazon KDP, and I had decided that that money was to be used to purchase a home. So I was on this home buying journey. It was a new house, so it took months to build. And so fast forward to July, I'm wrapping up this home buying journey, and now I'm about to move. So I'm about to leave where I am to move an hour away at this new house. So I requested with my company if I could go fully remote, because it would be a lot to drive over an hour each day to and from work. So they actually denied my request, even though a bunch of people were already working fully remote. They denied my request, and y'all know I took that real personal. So I decided that, you know what, I need to get out of this environment, and so I did. Now, I was about to close in the house, which means I needed to find a job fast. And so if you want to find a job fast and you have teaching experience and it's July, obviously you are going to look for a teaching job. So by this time, I had been out of the classroom, like physical classroom, for almost 2 years, right? But I had still been teaching virtually. So it didn't really feel the same. I thought, you know what, I can do this. I can go back into teaching and perhaps it'll be good, right? It's going to be a new school, a new district, a new area. So I was very excited. So now we're at my job that I just quit. And I started off teaching 7th grade science, which is what I had been teaching for most of my teaching career. However, after the first quarter of the school year, my principal actually pulled me into a meeting and he was like, so I actually need you in 8th grade. This is where we have a need right now. They have a test coming up at the end of the year, and I'm going to move you from 7th grade to 8th grade. He actually presented this as a question, only to then say, I don't really need to ask you. I could just move you. So I'm like, well, if you could just move me, then do it. Don't ask me, to give you the pros and cons of why. So after I told him that, he was just like, okay, so we'll do that. So then I moved over to 8th grade. Now, y'all, if you're a teacher or you know a teacher who's ever been placed into a position after the start of the school year, especially after the first probably 2.5 months of the school year, listen, it was awful. It took a really long time for the kids to actually get on board with me, because for a good portion of it, they probably thought I was still their substitute. So they were just doing whatever they wanted. I had kids who would go to the principal and complain, saying that I'm doing too much and I'm moving their seats, and they already had their seat. Now, of course, I'm not doing anything wrong, but you just go into a classroom, you need to get that class under control. And a part of that is changing up their habits, right? Because if you leave them sitting in the same position that they were sitting before you came in, then they're going to continue the same behavior. So you need to have a complete reset, which is why I moved seats, I put up my own decorations, right? You need to mark your territory. So we work through that. We get to the point where, me and the kids, we're good now. Like, I'm people's favorite teacher. Like, we're at that point now. We good, we Gucci. However, I actually started experiencing some health issues. And so with that, I needed to take some time off of work, which I did. I took an unpaid day, and y'all, tell me why they hit me with a $33 an hour uh, bill. Let me call it a bill. Tell me why they hit me with $33 an hour because I was out sick and I took an unpaid day. That did not sit right with me, y'all. So I was already grimy. So first I was grimy because y'all moved me out of 7th grade into 8th grade, completely new area, never taught 8th grade science before. These kids have a test coming up. I was at this school since the beginning of the school year, since before the kids started. Y'all knew you didn't have a teacher in 8th grade since before the kids started. And instead of putting me, the certified teacher, in 8th grade, y'all decided to put me in 7th grade and then come around the back end to move me after I've already been here. So I was so salty about that. Then I was salty because y'all done billed me $33 per hour and nobody ever told me. I guess I should have read on the district website. I don't even know. But I didn't see it in the handbook. It was not in the handbook, but apparently it was on some site that is like the law of Florida or something. I don't even know. So I was very salty. Anyways, fast forward, we are now in January and it is becoming more and more difficult to make it to work. If you've been a teacher, you know that once it gets to January, kids start acting different. They are ready to be out of school. Plus, I'm teaching 8th grade, so they know that they only have this is their last semester in this school. Next year they're going to high school. So it's becoming more and more of a challenge to communicate the information. It's becoming more and more of a challenge because more and more expectations are being put on you. And I'm in a district that very much still pays teachers based on students' performance. So based on how your kids perform on the test, teachers get a bonus or they get certain level of a bonus. And so it's becoming very, very stressful and it's becoming harder and harder to get to work each day. They're taking up more and more times with meetings to talk about data. And in my mind, I'm like, we've been here. I don't like the term crunch time plans. I don't want to be in no crunch time plan. We should have been planning and implementing since the start of the school year. Not now coming down to the wire, you want to put all this pressure on people when y'all literally have not been doing your jobs the whole time. Anyways, with all that being said, and with everything going on in my personal life, I felt it was the best decision to leave because one, the school district and many school districts do not value teachers. So if you are already having health issues and you're already feeling stressed in the morning just thinking about going to work, I personally believe that it's time to go. What you don't want to happen is for all of those things to compound and now you are real sick real bad. And now you have health issues that are continuing over your life because stress can lead to a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot of things that you do not want to be dealing with in terms of your health. So for me, I was like, mental health, teaching. Mental health, teaching. Ultimately, I talked to God about it, and I feel like God told me to go ahead and choose myself and choose my mental health. And I was actually in therapy at the time, and I feel like my therapist was low-key hinting at this because she was like, most of the sessions you come here, we're talking about your job. It sounds like your job is very stressful for you. And I'm like, yes, my job's stressful. It's stressful, bud. It's stressful every single day. It's stressful. Like, I don't even know. Anyways, so that's how we got here. No, I didn't leave. I don't think any teacher ever leaves because of the kids. Like, as bad as the kids may be or as hard as those behaviors are to control, ultimately it always comes down to district policies and administration. And I know administration, I know that they're trying their best, but they're not doing enough. And so, yeah, that is how I ended up quitting my job. So, what's the plan moving forward? So, now we're going to move into my plans moving forward. And so, my plans moving forward are, well, one, the first thing is to find another job. So, I did just graduate with my MBA. So, your girl has 2 master's degrees right now and absolutely no job. So, I do plan to find another job in business. And that is something that I've realized. Like, sometimes you go to college and you think that this is what you want to do. And then as you're going throughout life, you actually develop different passions. And so, that's literally what happened with me. I thought I wanted to be a forensic psychologist for the longest time. Ended up teaching just because I was in a new area and it was a job. And although I enjoyed it and I did it for quite some time, perhaps about 4 years, I knew that this, especially teaching science, I knew that this wasn't going to be the job or the career for me. And so I decided as a conscious adult to go back to school and get my MBA. As you all know, I talk about business here on this channel. I absolutely love business. I offer business coaching and consulting sessions. And so I felt like it was the perfect addition and the perfect thing to help me to change careers or to get into the field that right now is a field that I really want to be in. I would really love to find a job as a business development specialist, which I know right now is sales, right? But I don't mind being in sales. I love sales actually, so I don't mind finding a job in sales. But I would really, really, really love to find a job as a sales enablement specialist. And so that person is the person who provides training for the sales team. And so I feel like that would be a perfect job for all of my experience, because it's going to help me to tap into my teaching experience, but it's also going to help me to tap into my business and marketing experience. So I would love to find a job as a sales enablement specialist. And then the second part of my plan is to continue running my business so my stationery shop, I'm going to be rebranding that. So the name of my stationery shop is actually going to be Thrive Stationery Co. And so I'm going to get back into creating stationery products and really enjoying that process and enjoying that journey of shipping orders, going live and selling my products. Like, I really want to tap back into that. And so that is why I'm choosing to rebrand my stationery shop and to kind of separate it from what I do on this channel, which is talk about business and marketing. So on this channel, Shanice DK Designs, I'm still going to be teaching you all how to start stationery businesses, how to set up your books, so to sell print-on-demand books, whether it's on Amazon, KDP, or Lulu. So I'm going to still be teaching you the fundamentals of starting a stationery business and kind of running that. And hopefully I can kind of get into some of the more meaningful content, like the marketing of it all. So I really want to take this channel to the next level with that. And I'm going to still be offering my resources, so my vendor list. I'm still going to have the Boss Business Planner. So I'm still going to have those key things that would help you to run your business. However, I'm not going to have a lot of the sticky notes or the notepads or things like that. So those are going to be a part of Thrive Stationery Co. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to, as I said, get back into running my stationery shop. And I also believe that this change is going to help take me to the next level, because it's like you're not coming to me to purchase my stationery, but also getting my vendor list. It's like, you know what I mean? I feel like it was just two competing things. And although for a time I was trying to make it work, I think what I started to realize was that my target audience here on YouTube is not the same as the people who would be purchasing my stationery products in that way. And so I know I have like core supporters who are just like here and supporting whatever I do. And I'm so thankful and so grateful to you and to God for just this blessing and all of that. But I also know that if I want my stationery shop to reach the level that I want it to get to have the impact that I want it to have, of boosting productivity and inspiring people, I need to have that be a standalone company. Same thing with my business advice and my business coaching. If I want that to reach to the level that, I want it to reach, where I'm actually really helping business owners start their businesses, grow their businesses, and have real impact, then I need to have this as a separate standalone thing. And so that is a plan moving forward. Stationery shop, business coaching. With that being said, my calendar is literally open, you guys. So I'm going to be offering sessions from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. each day. Monday to Friday, and I'm still going to have 1 and 2 slots open on Saturday, but not a whole lot because I'm moving into getting back my Sabbath rest. That is something I've been realizing, that y'all, I have not been resting, and if I'm not resting, I'm not leaving room for God to work. So I need to have a day of rest. And so I'm going to be adjusting my calendar. So you're going to see new time slots on there. So if you've been wanting to book a session, then go ahead and check the link in my description, or I might link it up here in the cards, and you're going to see the updated times. Now, I do have it set up on worksession.com, and I'm still going to keep it there simply because Worksession is the name of my coaching and consulting program. So you guys, if you saw it before when it was on Calendly, it was just like book a work session. So that's the same idea. So work session is still going to be the name of what I'm calling the sessions. And I'm going to have consulting sessions. You can text me your questions or you can book a call. Of course, texting is cheaper. So if you want to do that, if you just have a couple of questions, feel free to text me. And then we're going to have the calls where you can just, pop on, we can brainstorm, we can ask questions, we can strategize. And then I have 2 new added services. So one service that I've just added is an audit. So if you need someone to take a look at your social media, to take a look at your Amazon KDP books and just give you feedback. So I do have the audit. And then I also have technical training sessions. So if you want to start selling your books on your own website using Lulu, then you can book a technical training session and I will literally walk you through it. If you don't have a website and you want someone to walk you through setting up a website one-on-one, you can book a technical training session and I'll walk you through it. You have the text consulting, the video chat consulting, you have the technical training sessions, and then you have the audit. And of course, you have other resources like my ebook, More Than a Vendor List, that you can tap into. So if you go to ShaniceDKDesigns.com or you go to worksession.com, you will be able to get routed to where you need to get to. And so, yeah, that is the plan moving forward, you guys. I'm just in a place of joy and gratitude right now, and I'm not fearful, I'm not scared of what's to come. I know that at the end of the day, God is in control, and I'm trusting in his plan. So each day I'm making small motions in the direction that I want to go, knowing that at the end of the day, he determines. I'm completely okay with that. So yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything that I set out to cover in this video. Let me know your thoughts on my plans to kind of rebrand. So have the stationery company as one thing and have Shanice DK Designs on one thing. So let me know your thoughts on that. Also, let me know, are you planning to quit your job? And if so, what's your plan if you do make that decision? Oh, and I do not want to end this video on a note where y'all think my business is just booming right now. That is absolutely not the case. What is the case though is that I do have some money in savings. So I worked really, really hard. When I started my job in August, I tried my best to save $1,000 each month. And so I have some money in savings that I'm going to use to kind of hold me over until one, I get my business to fully cover my bills each and every month, or I find another job. And so that is something that I want to say to end this video, is that make sure that when you're quitting your job, although it may seem like a lot of people are quitting their job with no plan and no savings, I would definitely recommend having some type of loose plan. And if you can have some savings, have something in savings. And so, yeah, that is it for the video right now, actually. So I'm gonna see you all on Saturday in my very next video. We're gonna get into creating homemade notepads. That's why I have this paper press that I made. I'm going to show you how I made that and show you how you can make your own notepads if that is something you want to offer in your stationery business. And so that is it. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Wish me luck on this journey. And I'm going to see y'all in my next video, which is going to be on Saturday. So bye.